Welcome to our inaugural broadcast of Extreme Bot, an inside look at FIRST Robotics Team 1099. I'm your host, Anthony Contorino. As we get underway, you might be wondering, what is FIRST and what is robotics in general? FIRST is actually an acronym standing for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. FIRST is an organization that was founded in 1989 by Dean Kamen, an inventor and entrepreneur who is well known for inventing the Segway. Kamen's goal in creating FIRST was to encourage young people across America to realize the excitement and the reward in choosing fields in science and technology. Also a priority was the relationship between the students and their adult mentors. A mentor has a plethora of valuable information regarding not only engineering, but in real life as well. FIRST emphasizes positive relations between the mentors and the students, mainly because they have such a wealth of information to offer. Today, FIRST Robotics continues to inspire students of all ages to become science and technology heroes. Another important aspect of FIRST is known as gracious professionalism. An expression pioneered by the National Advisor of FIRST, Woody Flowers, gracious professionalism encourages high-quality working standards as well as workplace safety, emphasizes fierce competition, yet values respect above all else. A step above what many know as good sportsmanship, gracious professionalism signifies a combination of knowledge, competition, as well as empathy. Moving on to the competition itself, every year FIRST teams are presented with a game animation, a basic kit of parts, as well as a set of rules depicting the game they must construct their robot to play. Afterwards, each team has 6.5 weeks to design and build their robot in whatever fashion they prefer, as long as it abides by the official rules. Let's take a look at this year's game animation at this time.
Welcome to the 2009 FIRST Robotics Competition and this year's game, Lunacy. Lunacy is played on a 27 by 54 foot field known as the Crater. Alliances of 3 teams each are positioned in bases at each end of the field from where they control their robots. Additional player stations are located along the edges of the crater. The crater is covered with a slick polymer material called regolith that provides a unique surface for the robots to drive upon. Special wheels are used on the robots to create a low-friction interaction with the regolith. This simulates the low traction effects of driving in the 1/6 gravity on the surface of the moon. Lunacy uses 3 types of game pieces known as moon rocks, empty cells, and supercells. A trailer is attached to each robot. The trailers are the targets for the opposing alliance. The objective of the game is to get as many moon rocks and supercells into the opposing trailers as possible. At the start of the game, human players known as payload specialists are positioned in the outpost stations. Each robot is placed on their launch pad with the trailer touching the wall of the crater. Robots are able to start the game with up to 7 moon rocks in their possession. During the autonomous period, players in the corner fueling stations and the outposts attempt to launch moon rocks into moving trailers. Each robot starts in a launch pad in front of an opposing player. As robots start to move away, the other alliance may try to block the robot's progress to make them easy targets. Or, robots may use their cameras to track the vision targets on top of each trailer. This allows them to track and score in the opponent's trailers. At the end of the autonomous period, human pilots step forward to take the controls. During the tele-operated period of the game, pilots guide the robots as they attempt to launch moon rocks into the trailers of the opposing alliance. Meanwhile, human payload specialists will also attempt to score moon rocks into passing trailers. Robots can also recycle game pieces back to the payload specialists. With a low-friction playing surface, robots will slide easily and high-speed collisions will be common. Bumpers are necessary to prevent damage. The outpost payload specialists can also deliver special empty cells to their robots. The robots then deliver these empty cells to their fueling stations. At the fueling station, the empty cells are exchanged for supercells. During the last 20 seconds of the match, humans or robots can score bonus points by getting supercells into opposing trailers. Each scored moon rock or empty cell is worth 2 points, and each supercell is worth 15 points in the game. Good luck, and we'll see you at the competitions.
Now that you've discovered what FIRST Robotics is, let's segue over into Team 1099. Students and adult mentors from Brookfield, Newtown, and the surrounding areas meet once a week during the fall and spring, but during the build season from January into February, meetings are held every night in order to construct the robot. Over the course of the build season, engineers, programmers, animators, artists, web designers, and spirit members all contribute vast amounts of time and effort for the betterment of Team 1099. Coming up in a bit, we'll have some interviews with the mentors of Team 1099. And now we'd like to welcome to the program one of our mathematics teachers at Brookfield High School, Donna Didsbury.
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So what would you say your role was in founding Team 1099?
Well, during a summer, several years ago, 7 years ago, one of my relatives was an advisor for the robotics team at her school, and she was telling me all about it, and I thought this sounds like a really great idea because I always like kids to see the application of their science and their math, what they do in school. So I came to school the next week, and I was looking for someone that I thought, well, who would want to help me do this? I didn't know too many because I was just new to the school. And I found Sue Troop, and I knew that she was interested in doing it too. So we got together, found out some information about it. I went to see Bash at the Beach, which was an off-season event, to see what it was like. I came back, told her about it. We decided, we put some information in the newspaper, and we found some person that was owned a robotics company. We started calling people, asking them if they knew anything about this, if they would like to help us. And we found someone that had their own robotics company who was willing to help us. So some other people came and talked about robotics. One guy was from UTC. He had worked with kids at UTC at a team, and from Sikorsky actually, and he told us about what it involved, and we talked with the principal, and we had a big meeting, and we decided to just go for it, and we just took a leap of faith that it would work. We wrote a grant, got NASA money, so then we had to go to Virginia the first year, and then we were hooked. So then the next year, that was our first year. The second year, Mr. Zapor came to our school, and we got him hooked, and so it's been great since then.
All right, fantastic. Next up, how would you say Team 1099 has impacted the students who participate in the program?
Well, I think the students learn a lot of things that they could use in a job and in life. They've learned perseverance. And as you know, how many times have they built something, it doesn't work, we have to take it apart. We build it again, it doesn't work. And I just think the students learn to, well, I have to just start over again and I'm not going to give up. I think they've learned teamwork. I think they've learned how to manage their time. As you know, we have 6 weeks to build that robot and design it and get it all done, and we have to get it done in that amount of time, so they know how to manage their time. They just learn lots of skills, how to get along with people. Our biggest thing in FIRST is gracious professionalism. You're always nice to people, you always treat them well, you always respect them, and I think that they've learned a lot about that kind of stuff.
All right. Thank you very much for being on the show. We appreciate you being on here. Thank you.